B.B. Calmer Alumni Association sponsors the Coach Adam Fossett Show every Thursday morning here on Daybreak Live. And Coach joins us this morning, ranked #1 in the state again with 13 first place votes, 207 votes, or 207 points overall, followed by Highland Home, Pisgah, Fife, and Reeltown. And Coach, last Friday night, it was a sluggish first half, to say the least, in that win over Thorsby.
It was. We started out pretty slow, not real inspired football. So we were flat coming out in warm-ups, and I kind of.
Did you sense that?
Yeah, I'd kind of sensed it, and we had a rough week of practice, and we talked about all the things going on, all the fluff that comes with homecoming. So it was not a good start for us at all, you know. And you got to give credit to Thorsby. Thorsby had a really good game plan as far as if people that watched the game noticed, they broke the huddle at about 12 seconds and they snapped the ball at about 8 seconds every time on the play clock. So Thorsby's plan was to shrink the game as much as they could, keep our offense off the field as long as they could, and they go down and drive. They drive down and score, go up 7-0, and then we give them the ball back and they go down and drive. Luckily we stop them, but they had a chance to go up 2 scores. If they go up 2 scores, they're in the driver's seat. So that's what they would have wanted. But
did Thorsby do anything that surprised you?
Yeah, they did. You could tell they had looked back at some things from way back and gathered some film from some places and from as far back as 2 years ago. So, but they, they did their research and they tried to do some things that we hadn't seen them do before. So. Halftime, we made a few adjustments, reminded them of a few keys that they weren't keying on and some things that they weren't doing, and was able to come out in the second half and score points and pull away from them and take the win.
It was very late in the first quarter from B.B. Calmer first scored, going into the second quarter, and then you get a leading at halftime, you get a safety, and how big was to settle after, because you could kind of look at the players after that first drive by Thorsby, and you kind of saw a look of bewilderment on their face.
Yeah, it was coming off the field. There was kind of a what's going on look. So, and again, we fixed some things and made the adjustments, and the guys. We got for a little bit there. We got in that case where we were trying to do too much, and people were trying to do more than they should, or trying to do somebody else's job on the field. So just settling those guys down and getting them back where they're supposed to be, and refocused and locked in with things that were going on with the game. So
despite the first half, which you yourself were not pleased with, you still had the lead.
Yes, yeah, we were up 15-7 at halftime, but still just didn't play our brand of football. Didn't play how we've been able to play, and we've tried to move some people around as well, because we're working on creating some depth as we go into the playoffs. So. Have a few guys in there that we're working, and trying to get some reps. So there was a lot of little nuances there that were going on. But second half and even in the first half, in the second half when we settled down, we had guys that stepped up and played well. Devon Harvey played lights out on defense for us. Played pretty well on offense. We weren't able to throw the ball as well as we have been in the past couple of weeks, but I thought Devon was a real game changer for us on defense with the plays that he made.
He has come so far, just in the last calendar year as quarterback and a defensive player as well.
Yeah, he has. He's really matured. Just his awareness, just general field awareness on both sides of the ball, is really amazing that what he's capable of doing. So he's made good decisions offensively for us. Last week he threw an interception. That's the first interception he's thrown all year. And going back and looking at the film, it's just, again, it goes back to little things. His form in throwing the ball was terrible, and that's why he threw it short. So it ended up being a short throw, underthrown, and was picked off. But that's his first interception of the season. So he's been smart with the ball. If the pass breaks down, he's able to do things with his legs, and that makes him a special player offensively. Defensively, he's got great field awareness. He can find the ball, and he's very, very physical.
3 touchdowns in the third quarter. Kind of settles things down a little bit, and you win going away over Thorsby to put you at 8-0 on the season, in position for first undefeated season possibly in quite a while.
Yeah, it's we're right there at the ending of it, and we all year it's been, you can't go, in this case you can't go 10-0 without going 9-0. So I bring that up on Friday nights right before we go out. Usually every week since the midpoint, you can't go 7-0 without going 6-0, so forth and so on. So. But the guys understand that, and that's something they want to do. We're talking about accomplishments, and we talk about especially senior classes. What are you going to do that the previous class didn't do? And there's kind of limited things now because we have had so much success in the recent years. But one thing that the previous classes haven't done is win the regular season. So for us to go 10-0 and again be back-to-back region champs, that's hats off to my guys and my coaches, and it's a goal that we have. So we want to obtain our goals, and we want to be able to finish out the season over the next 2 weeks and win both ball games, have a week off, and then head into the playoffs healthy and ready to make a run.
B.B. Comer's been able to dodge the injury bug throughout most of the season. You had a key injury on Friday night to a key lineman for your team.
Yeah, Alex is a little banged up. We're getting some more details on the extent of the injury, but it looks a lot better. Foot's looking a lot better, swelling's down, and we're all hopeful that he'll be back in the next week or two and ready to go, especially by postseason.
Yeah, and he plays a key role in your offense.
Yeah, he's our center, and he's grown a lot over the last 2 years. He was kind of one of the guys that came in late and started playing for us, and last year he was thrown into that role as a starting center, and midway through the season he had really grown into that role and done well. So this week we won't have him, but I think he's going to be back. He's tough. He's been doing all the ice stuff and doing all the things that he's supposed to do. So just waiting to hear back about some final what exactly is going on, and then hopefully we can get him rehabbed.
Couldn't help but notice at his injury, you already had the next man up mentality, warming up on the sideline, snapping the football.
Yeah, no doubt. We have guys, and sometimes we have guys that are interchangeable. So we have probably 4 guys that can snap, and that's something I think you learn. For somebody like me, you learn that, especially coaching small football over so many years. I remember being at Winterboro my first or second year. My starting quarterback got a concussion, and then my second string quarterback got a concussion. So I'm like moving people all over the place and things like that. So you got to be prepared for anything that can happen with injuries and stuff like that. So, but we have guys that'll move in there right now. Ethan Price will move over from guard and go to center, and then we've got a couple options to plug in at guard. So, but it'll again, we've had a pretty good week. Those guys are working hard and learning, and practice has been a lot better this week than it was last week. So looking forward to going down and playing. Our guys are our guys, kind of the growth of our program, year one, we were 5 different homecomings and 6 counting ours.
They were looking for you, wasn't it?
Yeah, well, apparently it's homecoming this week down in Hanover. So my guys are like, man, they scheduled us for homecoming. So they've been pretty focused this week and ready to go play.
Central at times this year has been a pretty good looking football team.
Yeah, they have, and they've done. They're doing a good job recruiting the kids and trying to get them interested in playing football. So his numbers are a lot better. They play hard. He's got some athletes that can get after it. I think just general football and playing football coming up. I don't know how much they had played coming up, but they have the ability to make some big plays, and they have the ability to do some things that can scare you a little bit. So
you got 2 Thursday night games back to back with Central. Well, actually, that's tomorrow night. And then you got Thursday night next week against Fayetteville, heavily favored in both those games. Then you've got the open week. That's something that you wanted, wasn't it?
Yeah. I like that schedule. Some people want to play all the way through, and I like that schedule. It's been like that. I've set it up like that for years. The only time I think that it really hurt us was when we had the COVID. We had the COVID win against St. Luke's in the first round of playoffs, and we didn't get to play. So in that aspect, we didn't play for 3 weeks, and that's tough.
Yeah.
But for us to be able to, we play Fayetteville on Thursday. It gives us an opportunity to go scout on Friday. Gives us an opportunity to scout the following Friday, and then you're getting ready for games. It also provides us an opportunity to get our guys healthy, get their legs back under them, and work on some things, just fundamental things. Like we literally go back to like square one and do just some fundamental stuff at practices, and work on those things to kind of work on our skill to prepare ourselves for the next season, which is the postseason.
And I know that coaches don't like to talk about looking ahead too far, but as I mentioned, you're heavily favored in both these games, tomorrow against Central and next Thursday against Fayetteville. Looking ahead to the first round of the playoffs, which is in 3 weeks or so, have you looked at a possible opponent, who that might be?
We know the region. It'll be the region that has Clark County, St. Luke's, Chickasaw, J.U. Blackshear, and Washington County. Right now, it could be any of 3 teams between Chickasaw, J.U. Blackshear, or Washington County. 2 of them play each other this week, so that'll sort that part out. But it won't be definite until the end of the season.
Some people were hoping for Clark County.
Yeah. Some people were hoping that Clark County would be here, and I've actually talked to Coach Carter, and I think they'll end up winning their region.
Yeah.
So they play St. Luke's tomorrow night. So it could be they could win the region down there, and if we saw them, it'd be down the road.
Coach Carter, of course, former head coach at Sylacauga down at Clark County now. Before we go this morning, B.B. Calmer went to the finals last year. And a lot of people expecting them to go deep in the playoffs again this season. How has this success garnered outside interest of people who, wow, they're talking about B.B. Calmer now?
Yeah, it's it's interesting to see the just the interest that people have and the people that keep up with it, and people tell me all the time, I'll be pumping gas and somebody will say something, or they'll yell, go Tigers, or something like that, And last week for a homecoming, there was a ton of alumni there, and it was really neat. I went out after we got the team in. I went out and saw the alumni, and there were people from North Carolina.
You were under the tent
for a few minutes.
Wow!
I was out there for a few minutes, but I really enjoy stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like I enjoy listening to the stories and just hearing people talk. And my mother-in-law is an alum of Comer as well. My wife is an alum, so So I know some of those people and have known those people prior to all this. When years and years ago, I was introduced to Coach Overton when I was the head coach at Winterboro because, I was my wife's family knew them, and ton of respect for him and what he did, and he's legendary as a coach in this area and as a coach at Comer, and I got to see him about a month or so ago, and like just talking to him and seeing him just be excited and lit up about, hey, Coach, man, everything's good. Man, the guys are playing well, and it's good to see that. But a ton of interest, a ton of people there. The crowds are big, and then when we get in the playoffs, the cool thing about the playoffs is, if teams in the area aren't in, or they're put out, or whatever the case may be, they come to our games. And last year in our student section, at one point in time, there were people from 3 or 4 different schools in our student section, yelling and screaming for us and making noise and things like that. So it's pretty neat to see that the community can come together like that and support. And we got late in the season last year in the semifinals, and Silicaga's Booster Club helped us out with some things at the game, and just people reaching out and helping out and being supportive. And man, it really shows how strong a community can be, and how strong people can be, and you can kind of put everything else aside and cheer on one cause for an hour and a half and be supportive of that. So it's really neat to see. Makes me proud to be part of it, and excited to see kind of what this postseason leads to.
All right, B.B. Comer and Central Acusa County at Hanover tomorrow night. Kick is at 7 o'clock. It's homecoming for Central Acusa County. B.B. Comer looking for their 9th straight win of the season. And next week, it'll be a Thursday night game against Fayetteville at Legion Stadium. Coach, we'll talk next week. Good luck tomorrow night, and let's get that 9th win.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Coach Adam Fossett, the B.B. Comer Tigers head football coach and athletic director, brought to you by the B.B. Comer Alumni Association. Back after this.